Today, we want to talk about
the AVH X1800S. We have an unboxing coming your way, so stay tuned. Alright, we got the 1800X, or the X AV. We got this guy right here. We're going to unbox it, plug it in, tell you all about it. Get excited, people. Here we go.
okay.
So we got a USB extension, about 4 feet. A bag of screws. A remoto controlo. A power plug. Warranty paper. And the thickest manual in the world. But have no fear, it's for all the radios. So you can read it. Go ahead. Let's get it out of its protective casing. Now we're going to set it up, and as usual, we're going to start with the back here and tell you all the little holes that it has and what you can fill them with. Alright. Alright, so let's take a look at the holes in the back. I already said that. Alright, so to start with, we have the rear view camera input. We have the input for the AVH U260 add-on navigation system. We have the USB input. We have the AV inputs right here, so you have your audio and your video. You have your video output for your rear seat entertainment. You have your 6-channel 4-volt preamp output right here, so you have front, rear, sub.
And on the other side of the radio, we have the power plug, the aux input, the antenna, Sirius XM, and the input for the steering wheel controls.
New this year is the touch panel.
Yes.
They have a brand new one, so tell us a little bit about it, will you?
That's 6.2 inches, LED backlit, WBGA clear resistor screen. There's 800 by 480 pixels.
That is correct.
It is?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
I'm hoping. It's also got 50 watts by 4.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it's going to look like if you put it in yourself and you have it plugged in. The first thing it's going to ask you is what language you speak. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk you through the basic setup. So here we go. There's 5 languages to choose from. Go ahead and pick the one you'd like. Click next. Then you have network or standard mode. This has to do with the output of the radio, whether you want a 3-way active system or a standard front-rear sub system. iPhone or other. And that brings you to your home menu. Now from here, you can then beautify your radio, meaning change the colors and make it look more aesthetically pleasing. Go ahead and click the gear. Come over here to the art palette. Click backgrounds. You have 5 static backgrounds. And you have 3 movie backgrounds. Pick that one. Then we'll click illumination. You have 5 colors to choose from, preset colors for these buttons here. Now you can also go into the setup buttons and adjust them any color you want. So if you like purple, you can make them purple. Or you can just have them on scan to where it'll just go through all colors of the rainbow. Then you have themes. You have 5 colors for theme. So you can pick red, blue, purple, red, or this is bluish purple, orange, green, or white. Now at this point the radio should be all set and ready to be ready for you. You got the color you like, it matches your dash, you got it all set up, and now what? Now let's talk about sources.
Sources.
It has some new sources and some improvements to old sources. So there's 2 ways you could access the source menu. You can tap here, and here's your sources, or you can hit the Windows button here, and then hit AV, and it'll pull up all your sources. So you have a standard AM/FM radio. You have a CD/DVD player, which goes right here. You have USB/iPod. Now with your iPod plugged in, you can get Pandora, as well as new this year you have 6 preset stations that you can add or have. And new source this year is Spotify. So this has full native Spotify control. You have Sirius XM capability, aux, AV input, and of course the rear view camera, which is selectable on and off once it's been turned on in the menu system. You also have the source off and power off. power off is new this year. When you hit source off, it would just kind of put the radio this kind of not sleep mode. But now, if you go, you can select power off, and it'll ask you, click yes, and it'll turn the radio off just like you were turning the key off in the car. Hit any button to wake it back up. Now, while we're on this page, let's go into a couple other settings. You have beep tone on and off, so you don't have to listen to the obnoxious beep if you don't want to. You have camera settings. This is where you can turn on and off the camera. If you need to change the language that it was set up to because someone else installed it, you can do it right here. And then you have restore settings. If you hit restore settings, this will go ahead and restore the radio back to out of the box settings. So it'll take you back to where you can do language, restore settings. It bombs the radio back to 0. And then down here at the very bottom, you have system information. System information is going to tell you the current firmware on this radio. They do periodically push updates, and that would be done through firmware updates. Other things that this radio has is a really bitchin' EQ pack. So let's take a look at that. Come over here and hit the radiating speaker. You have a graphic EQ, which is right here. You have 5 presets as well as 2 custom. Now you can also access that by just tapping here and easily change the EQ settings. Balance and fader. Subwoofer on and off. Speaker level control, so you can adjust your subwoofer level here, as well as if you do time correction or cabin, listening position, you can adjust the volume of each individual speaker to help you create a perfect center image. You can also turn that on and off down here and listening position. And then if you would like to, time alignment, well, you can change these numbers to match what they really are. So if you take a tape measure and measure from your front speaker to your ear, rear speaker, subwoofer, and put those numbers in by simply doing this, then you'll get a better sounding system. It has a 3-way crossover, front, rear, and sub. It's easily adjusted by just dragging your finger across, doing this. You have auto EQ, which we'll get to in a second. Now, if you've taken the time to set up the EQ and you have this thing sounding amazing, go ahead and go to Save Settings, tap that. That'll allow you to, it'll burn the settings into the unit. So as long as you don't do restore settings, it'll be saved. If it does, you'll lose them if you do a software update too, so take pictures. Load settings, mainly it's for if you disconnect the battery. You have 3-step loudness control, as well as automatic level control. Automatic level control is used for if you want all your music to play at the same level. You have 2 modes. This will adjust how intense you want it. So if you want them all to be at the same level, really anal about it, put it on mode 2. If you like a little bit of variance, go ahead and leave it on mode 1. It will decrease the overall volume of the stereo because it's going to be adjusted to the lowest common denominator. Now back to the EQ settings. Auto EQ could be done through the aux port on the back of the radio by using Pioneer's and or anyone's little test microphone. Pioneer sells one. You can pick it up for about 20 bucks. As well as if you have a surround sound system at home and it came with a mic, you could use that too. Yep. How cool. Alright. You got anything? No. You sure?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, that brings us to an end on the 1800. Let's go ahead and wrap this up for us.
Alright, so thank you for watching. You guys can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.
And as usual, you guys have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to leave them in the comments. And as usual, bye.